gentlemen, we'll now move into fight number 14, presented by the Beechmere Medical Centre. And it will be for the amateur middleweight title, contested over 5 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, out of the red corner, Michael Moss.
Here we go, title fight 3 of the evening, amateur middleweight title on the line. Michael Moss about to enter Coastal Combat Cage, fighting out of the base training centre under the very watchful eye of Damien Brown.
And if you saw the weigh-ins, he is a very physical specimen of a human being. He's currently an Australian Army soldier.
Yes.
So you know he takes his fitness very seriously. As you said, he's had a large layoff.
214, I think, was the
last fight was 5 years ago. So it's interesting to see. But from his other records, he is competing constantly in no-gi, gi, jiu-jitsu, Army combative programs. So it's not like he hasn't done anything for the last 5 years.
2019 state champion in open weight no-gi. So is active from that perspective, but this will be the first time in quite a while that he's competed at this level.
Fighting out of Base Training Centre under Damien Brown, Naren Blackie. Also trains out of Integrated Combat Club at Noggera Barracks.
As he said, he's one large human being.
And introducing his opponent, out of the blue corner, Jack Bricktop James.
Jack James making his way to the Coastal Combat Cage.
For the second time.
Courage Training Centre is under the watchful eye of the great Ian Bone. Purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I believe you two have some history.
Mate, I've seen Jack grow up from a little kid to a very skilled adult, I'd say, even at 21 years old. He's definitely well-rounded. Ian Bone makes sure all of his guys are well-rounded before he lets them compete. And I know everybody at Courage Training Centre at the moment are at the gym watching this fight, so a huge shout out to them.
Did he sweep you?
Did he sweep me? Oh, it's what I hear. It's what I hear. We had a jiu-jitsu comp a couple of weeks ago where I got to go up and verse all those boys up there, and Jack James did get a lovely sweep on me that we will never talk about again.
That is off the record moving forward. Both have a pedigree as it applies to jiu-jitsu, so interesting to see. As Michael is a state champion, Jack James is also a state champion in BJJ in the blue belt division, so both of them have that pedigree. If it goes to the ground, could see a grapple fest open up here.
It'll be interesting to see with the amount of muscle that Michael carries, whether those later rounds will affect him. Whether that fatigue will set in. He'll get a little bit lazy with his hands positions. Yes. Start to carry them a little bit lower.
Or the front roll into the cage too.
Jack has a little bit more of a height advantage.
Fight number 14 this evening is presented by the Beechmere Medical Centre, and it will be for the amateur middleweight title, contested over 5 3-minute rounds. And introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 83.1 kilos and trains out of Base Training Centre and Integrated Combat Club at the Noggera Barracks, holding an amateur record of 4 wins, 0 defeats and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Michael Moss. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 83.0 kilos and trains out of Courage Training Centre, holding an undefeated amateur record of 2 wins and 0 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jack Bricktop James.
Been through the rules at the back. obey my commands at all times, so listen to my commands at all times. You won't touch your gloves, do it now, and go back to the referee.
And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Nakia Melody.
Well, here we go, gentlemen. Coastal Combat middleweight title on the line. Jack James taking on Michael Moss.
Very different frames. Oh, big shots by Michael early.
Yeah, Michael Moss certainly looks pretty good getting off the bus, doesn't he? If we had a Best Body award tonight, I think he's our front runner.
Jack did a very good job of reversing off the cage straight away.
And Jack now looking for that single leg, but good work here from Michael Moss to reverse position.
Oh, gives his back up.
So watch this. Jack James fishing for a Kimura attempt, goes for a ride, but straight back to his feet.
He's doing a very good job of reversing his pitch position up against that cage. I'd like to see Jack James try and sap some of that extra strength through this round and see how he goes in those later rounds.
Yeah, maybe wear a little bit. Short-term pain for long-term gain.
He's doing a very good job getting those double
Good reversal again.
So Jack James showing that potentially not as big a strength difference as the frame might suggest. Sound like that one travelled a little south of the border, but Jack James doesn't look too phased by it. So yeah, I'd say that the game plan does mirror something like you said there, Anton, just trying to zap a bit of energy out of that big frame of Michael Moss here in the opening few rounds and see if we can try and take this one late.
Working the single leg now. Oh, that's some big shots.
I'd like to see him come back up, maybe start to work some knees to the body, start to just break him down a little bit, play the long game.
So some good balance displayed here by Michael Moss a couple of times there. We've seen Jack James go for the lift. Now looking to try and clasp his hands together. He'll get it.
Got him too.
Oh, broken.
He's going for the guillotine.
So nice work.
It's big. It's high too.
That is tight. Let's see if Jack James can try and push his hips in and get himself out of danger. Looks like he does.
Does a very good job of keeping composure. As I was saying, Jack James is relatively young. 21 years of age. He's only been doing this for a couple of years.
Of course, Jack recently awarded his purple belt in Jiu-Jitsu. He was absolutely tearing through the field at the Queensland State titles earlier this year in the blue belt division, so well and truly deserved that promotion as we see some nice ground and pound here.
Oh, big shots.
Wow, looks like Jack almost went out there for a second.
Got to maintain composure here, though. Don't want to punch us.
Wow.
Doing a very good job.
Did look hurt, though. Looked really hurt after those couple of strikes there, but bounced back incredibly quickly.
Did look like the eyes almost rolled back there for a second, but Jack James showing some toughness here to get through that last little flurry. Pretty close round up until that point. Depending on the judge's view, that might have stolen it there for Michael Moss, but moving into round two, it's going to be interesting to see how the conditioning holds up for both boys.
It was very, yeah. That's my biggest question. I want to see how the conditioning of Michael Moss looks in that third and fourth round if he goes that far.
And of course, we shouldn't stereotype him. There are some pretty phenomenally built athletes that do have that 5-round cardio. Someone like a Yoel Romero at the top level. So let's see if Michael Moss can match the cardio here of Jack James as we move forward in this one.
I think Jack has learned very quickly that we can't eat too many clean shots from Michael Moss. So
one thing from those strikes that I did see, but he's not very straight down the line, Michael Moss. He does get that around the side angles. So, if Jack can keep nice and tight, come straight down the line, then it might be a bit more effective.
So here we go, round two. Nice shot lands there, but straight down the pipe was the right hand of Jack James.
Shoots again, single leg.
Didn't quite penetrate the hips there on that shot, so well stuffed there from Michael Moss. And looking to try and get a double leg here is Michael. Jack taking a knee there as the hands were momentarily clasped and back to his feet. So beautiful technical work here from Bricktop up against the fence.
Doing a very good job of not letting him join those hands together.
A couple of cheeky shots here as well.
A little hammer fist, so nice.
He needs to go the overhook on the other side to try and peel those hands away.
Looks like Michael Moss has got his hands locked though.
Got it.
And here is the takedown.
Persistent, well executed.
So we mentioned Jack James as the Jiu-Jitsu blue belt, Michael Moss a purple belt I should say, my apologies there Jack. And Michael Moss, I was going to say, a 3rd degree blue belt, so not too far behind him in the Jiu-Jitsu rankings. So we'll see if there is any skill difference or any noticeable skill difference here on the mat.
Jake's doing a very good job of controlling his posture, preventing him from being able to posture up and really rain down those strikes.
Exactly right. Control right now is very good. However, Michael's actually been able to move him and butt him up right against the cage, so opportunities for him to be flexible now are far less.
Looking for that mission control.
Yeah, so interesting little position here. It's tough to get too much offense going in your guard when you do have your head pressed up against the fence like that, but Jack James doing his best to at least nullify some of the damage here that Michael Moss could potentially let go of up against the fence.
And the fact that he's controlling him, as you said, but he's using a lot of energy trying to rain those strikes down on Jack, and Jack's doing a very good job of minimalising the damage that he takes.
And worth noting, when we did ask for the predictions coming into this fight, Jack James did pick himself for the 4th round TKO submission.
Wearing his opponent down.
Right now, though, Michael Moss looking pretty sharp here in the opening 2 rounds. Could very well be up 2 if this one progresses how it has been for the next 24 seconds.
A dominant ground control here in round 2. Jack's defended well, hasn't taken any punishment, but hasn't been able to improve position.
So yeah, one thing that Jack James has done really well here in this position is control the posture of Michael Moss. And of course, if you can control the posture, you can really minimise the ground and pound, as we see a bit of a flurry here to finish the 2nd round. And 2 rounds in the books, gents.
Possibly 2 rounds for Michael Moss, one would think.
Yep.
So definitely need Ian Bone right now. Consider the game plan for Jack over the next 3 rounds.
Yep, my scorecard's looking the same as yours there, Josh. I think I've got Michael up 2 rounds. So this is the swing round. You know, if you want to take over late, this is where you've got to start taking over. If you're thinking that this might go all 5 rounds, obviously you need 3 at least to win. So 2 rounds in the books for the other corner. Jack James might have to start to turn up the pace a little bit here.
And it might be time too, again, with such a large frame, a lot of muscles need a lot of oxygen. Maybe the time where Michael starts to fatigue a little, slow down, Jack can then push the pressure.
Yeah, he's really getting his muscles worked out over there. You know, it might mean that there's a little bit more fatigue in those big arms of him.
Absolutely.
You know, Jack still had that explosiveness at that last 15-20 seconds. You know, when he was able to push him off. So it'll be interesting to see.
So here we go. Nakia Melody clears the cage and claps us in for the 3rd round.
His hands are already starting to be held a little bit lower.
Good movement by Jack so far. Likes a front kick.
I'd like to see him maybe throw a little question mark kick, get his hands up.
So pushing up against the cage here, Michael Moss, of course, training out of base training centre here for this camp under the watchful eye there of Damian Brown, UFC veteran. In the corner, it looks like he also has Aaron Blackie, a very exciting up-and-coming professional featherweight prospect. So it looks like a little guillotine attempt there momentarily. And a nice knee there from Jack James. So are we seeing the tide change here, gents?
I think we are. Michael wasn't even able to maintain that pressure that time. So,
and look at him, his hands are low, he's fatigued, he's trying to throw everything into...
he's hurt himself.
I didn't see no groin strike.
Oh, body shot.
Oh, lovely straight right.
So nice entry here from Jack James, reversing position. Still got the single leg clasped. Let's see if he can get things down on the mat.
I think Jack was actually doing really well in the striking exchanges there.
I was just about to say, I would have actually liked to see him stay on his feet a little bit.
Separate and keep throwing him.
So halfway through the third round now, halfway through the fight, I guess you can say, and Jack James pushing us up against the fence here. Nice little trip attempt there, but Michael Moss hip to it. Regathers that leg of his and stays on the feet.
I'd like to see him throw some strikes, maybe step back half a step, throw some knees, throw some hands, and then shoot back down. He's taking some big shots.
Yeah, everything that Michael Moss throws has fight-ending intentions on it.
Oh.
And Jack James looking to try and lift Michael Moss here with the high crotch single. Difficult to do with the strength of Michael Moss.
Wearing him out though.
That's
Definitely wearing him out. Still 2 rounds to go after this one, so.
So 30 seconds remaining now in the third round, and nice. Drags him down onto the mat. Momentarily looked to try and get the back, but good work there from Michael Moss regaining that overhook.
Maybe an inside sweep.
So both boys have showcased some really good takedown defense against the fence here in this fight so far. We saw Jack James was on display in the earlier rounds. Michael Moss showing his hip to it as well. Look at this, hands clasped.
Double leg.
Wow.
That's
interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say that, you know, I'd probably give that round to Jack, but
The last thing the judges saw was a double leg takedown, so.
That's very interesting finish to that one.
But I
Was
think
that enough?
the biggest story here is the absolute obvious fatigue by Michael Moss at the moment. So he's tired. Can Jack exploit that over the next 6 minutes?
Will we see Michael Moss get his second win too? It's common for fighters to hit a bit of a fatigue state, and then the aerobic system kind of kicks back into gear and they can ramp things up a little bit. We'll see if Michael Moss can get that win back, but to be fair, he's not looking too bad here with 3 rounds in the hole, 2 still to go, and who knows? Could be 3-0. I'm probably more leaning to 2-1 personally, but certainly not saying that with any conviction.
Yeah, I think 2-1's pretty reasonable.
yeah. As we head into the championship rounds, this is definitely an exciting fight. I definitely think Michael is slowing down, but
Yeah, no doubt.
I think the amount of muscle that he has and the oxygen required to fuel those muscles is definitely taking a toll on him.
6 minutes is a long time in this cage.
I like that from Jack there, just toe poking the body a little bit, trying to throw off the breathing.
Oh, ducks under and shoots perfectly.
Oh, nice from
Big
Michael
double
Moss. Beautiful work from Michael Moss. Jack James already working on a Kimura here. Let's see if he can get some sort of finish. It's going to be pretty difficult to work the Kimura on someone as strong as Michael Moss. So here we go. Good start to the 4th round. Michael Moss maybe not as fatigued as we may have thought, gents.
After rolling with Jack for quite a few years, even fatigued, he's one very tough man to submit.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
Gonna roll out
dangerous.
here.
He's dangerous.
Did too.
So back to the feet now, Jack James. Let's see. Oh, the foot stomp.
Good, good. Changing it up, keeping him guessing. That's what I like to see.
So here we go with the high crutch single attempt again, but Michael Moss doing well to keep that base low.
I would really like to see him let go of the leg with his left hand, maybe grab his head, pull it down, maybe put some weight and pressure on his head, and look to strike a little bit more.
Yeah, he could even separate here and just throw hands for a little bit. I thought he was doing really well in those exchanges. It's not an improving position. It's a stalemate in principle.
Oh, he obviously is not liking those foot stomps. He keeps moving his feet. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the foot stomps, Anton?
Mate, it's the same way I feel about the heel kicks to just above the knee. You know, I don't know. I think foot swaps are a lot less dangerous than a side kick to the knee. That's for sure.
I agree. I also cringe with those oblique kicks.
Yeah.
So nice work here from Michael Moss with the reversal. Hands are clasped.
And gets him down.
Wow.
So Jack again.
Very interesting here in the 4th round. Michael Moss, cardio holding up. So yet to taste defeat in his young career, of course, Michael Moss 4-0-1. He has one win by first round knockout, a couple TKOs in the first. So 3 TKO/KO victories in the opening stanza, and also a win by unanimous decision. So he has gone the distance in 3-round fights. This is the deepest either man have gone in their MMA careers in the 4th round here. First time 5 rounds has been scheduled.
Michael's dropping some bombs in this corner position. But again, Jack's doing a very good job of limiting the damage that he's actually taking with those strikes, which has been great.
Oh, big shot.
Nice left hand.
Well, gentlemen, I've got a feeling Jack James might be in the position where he needs to finish to try and take home this middleweight title.
I definitely agree with you. 3-1. But I think he's got it in him. I think he needs to throw some more strikes. I think with the way Michael's carrying his hands, if Jack can throw low and then follow up with a head kick, can rock him, can catch him.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose. Michael's going to shoot early on, so goad him into a throw a knee, something like that, even step back with the uppercut. He's got to try and find something different, because he can almost guarantee in the first 20 to 30 seconds Michael's going to shoot, try and line top of him for the entire round and coast his way through to a middleweight championship. So he needs to modify his game plan here if he wants success.
Yeah, couldn't have put it any better myself there, Josh, as we see the corners now exiting the cage. Of course, a big thank you to everyone who has tuned in on the webcast and put up with us talking you through these fights all night. It's been an absolute pleasure. Of course, my name's Daniel Maudsley. I'm in the booth with UFC vet Anton Zafir and veteran of the Australian martial arts commentary scene, Mr. Josh Warner, taking us through the action. Here we go, 5th and final round, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's well on, but I want to see him set it up. Get off that cage.
Got to move.
Get off that cage.
Did well and separates. Oh, the left.
So very telling instructions from the corner of Jack James. We heard his head coach Ian Bones say, how much do you want it? Means they're aware that he likely needs a finish. Big takedown. Tell you what, boys.
Set it up perfectly as well, though. The rush with the left, right, into the double leg. It's textbook.
Michael Moss has answered a lot of the questions around the conditioning here. Jack James, I think, has actually got a broken nose too at the moment.
Yeah, I reckon he copped a left hand as Michael was coming in. Yeah, that's a broken nose for sure.
It looks like it's pointing in a different direction than it was at the start of the fight.
Actually, from this angle,
mate, I think it might just be busted.
I reckon he's got a little bit of a problem there.
It's hard to see from this angle.
And the breathing will be affected now as well, with the guy that's probably 87, 88 kilos on top of you, with potentially a busted nose.
So the Mossy chants rain down here. Michael Moss, well, his fan base well represented here inside the Coolum Primary School.
He can sit here for the next 2 odd minutes, coast his way to a title.
There is a lot of blood pouring out of the nose there of Jack James.
That's a break.
Nakia Melody has to look. Triangle attempt.
Triangle attempt.
Uh-oh, watch the slam. Beautiful from Michael Moss. Got to be careful, though. Still in danger. Look at the elbow. Starts the lawnmower and gets that arm out of there.
Wow. Credit to Jack, though. Threw that up. That was a Hail Mary. Nearly connected.
So Jack James showing he's not done just yet.
Dangerous off his back. Very active guard. So, well, there's still time and we still have about a minute to go. Anything can happen here.
So 1 minute to go, like you mentioned there, Josh. Jack James back to his feet momentarily as we see Michael Moss.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. You can see it in his eyes. He's like, I'm so close, so close, I'm nearly there. And then he just gets pulled back down. That's what we're talking about, that the guys do really well from that Ignite MMA. They break you. You know, they give you that little taste of freedom and they rip you back down. But here we go.
Butterfly sweep here from Jack James.
Sweep takes
wow. 30 seconds to go. Doesn't look like it's quite under. Oh my goodness. This could be one of the greatest comebacks we've seen. But it looks like Michael Moss. Wow, 17 seconds to go.
The choke's still there.
Oh my goodness. Jack James.
And the big punches now.
Some big shots, 10 seconds to go. Can Michael Moss survive?
Can he pound him out?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Head kick misses.
Oh, what a fight.
What a finish.
Fight. Oh, I feel like I should be in the crowd cheering and yelling. That was awesome. They got my heart racing.
Extraordinary fight. 30 seconds to go. Table's nearly turned.
Oh, we got blood all over the table too.
Everywhere.
Oh, that's a fight.
Everywhere. Guessing that was a nose. And a very tough round to score when you think about it again. Seemed like Michael Moss was just cruising there, but 30 seconds to go. Throws up the triangle, throws up the armbar, has a rear naked choke attempt. It's a huge ground and pound.
Ground and pound.
You just don't know where that one's going to land, what the judges think, what they saw.
I mean, you know, even if you gave that last round,
You still think
to Jag,
3-2.
it's 3-2. Wow.
Either way, whichever man comes away with the victory certainly deserved that one. And there is literally blood all over this commentary table. Safe to say the crowd think Michael Moss. Judges taking some time to calibrate the scores, so maybe closer than we think. In the event, we'll go to Daniel, centre cage official decision.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score about 49-46, 49-46, and 48-47 for your winner by unanimous decision. And new Coastal Combat Featherweight Champion, Michael Moss. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with our new middleweight champion of Coastal Combat. Gets the job done by unanimous decision. Really put on a display of incredible wrestling, pressure and grappling here tonight. Was that the game plan coming in?
The game plan was to have a bit of a striker and see what he's like. I saw his striking, he's got some power. I hope he continues, Jack. I prepared for this 5-round war and you fucking gave it to me, that's for sure. I thank you very much for really pushing me right to the end and testing the training I've been doing at base. And as I said, just want to thank all the supporters that come up. Some like one dude come from Canberra. Like just the support, like our mates overseas, and they've been watching it right now. And so yeah, but it's just so many people to thank, like Aaron Johnson, Paul Carr, and then I went across the base because I wanted to fight again. David Brown's like, take me down, get my game to that level. As simple as displayed tonight. I believe he had in me the whole time. Like, I doubt myself sometimes, some days I'm fucking not good enough, but he really keeps my head screwed on. All my sponsors, Butterfly, Fight Life, boys come up from Power Subs, Lovely Creek. Where are you guys? Yeah, like, I probably miss people, to be honest. I'm pretty cooked. And a JD.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of JDs flowing after this, of course. I believe it was 4 years out of the cage prior to tonight. How did it feel making the jump back in?
Oh, at the back, I was like, fuck, it's been a while. Hey, mate, he's like, man, you're built for this. I'm like, yeah, I fucking am. Let's just go for it, eh? yeah, it affects my family, biggest supporters. Yeah, I hear my coach a lot, but you always hear your family because you've grown up with them all your life, and you hear, old man, breathe, Mossy, breathe. You're like, yeah, okay, mate, I'm trying. But I want to thank Ian Bone and Jack James for coming down and putting on a show for everyone and really putting me through my paces.
Well, congratulations once again, Michael. Go and enjoy that, JD. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your new middleweight champion, Michael Moss.